Hello and thank you for joining me for this tutorial. Today I want to show you how to use this hairpiece, which is Faux bangs. It was sent to me by Classy Rebel on Instagram. It's a hair brand by Jazzy B. This is an extension made from human hair, which is supposed to give you bettie bangs. This is what it looks like when it arrives. This is actually after I already wore it and used it and dyed it and washed it. So this is freshly washed, which makes it look like how it looked like when it arrived. It doesn't look that good when it just arrives. You do have to make some changes and style it a bit to make it actually fit into your hair naturally. So I'm gonna be showing you how to do that and also give you some ideas of how to style it in different ways. I actually used to have bettie bangs for many years and I decided to grow them out a few years ago because I felt it's kind of limiting for different pin-up hairstyles. It does look very nice on a daily basis. You don't have to do much to look like you made an effort, but when you're trying to kind of experiment and do different hairstyles, it is a bit limiting. That's why I think it's really great to have this extension. The first thing I did when I got this is to dye it. I started by dyeing it with my hair color, which I always use, which is conditioner or hair mask based, as you can see in my first video of my channel. I started by dyeing it that way, but it looked very uneven, so I decided to do what I do with all my synthetic hair pieces, which is dyeing them with fabric dye, which actually worked really well. The reason I think it worked well is because I do it by putting it in a large pot with water and a little bit of like hot pink color, so that way it kind of spreads very evenly and very pastel looking because it's mainly water with a little bit of the actual dye. The first step for me was dyeing it. Obviously, if this comes in your hair color, you don't need to do that. The second thing that I think should be done for most like face shapes, and I still didn't do it, but I'm gonna be doing in this video, is actually cutting it a bit, because as you see it's kind of straight and I want it to be a bit rounder in the edges to look more like bettie bangs, you know, like the classy bettie bangs look like a kind of a half circle kind of shape. So I'm gonna be showing you how I do that, and also I suggest using a hairdryer to kind of straighten it a bit, just because in the bag it might like kind of lean to one direction or something like that, so it's better to kind of dry it so from the middle of it the bangs go down and the back of the hair, this area, needs to go to this direction. And the last step before actually using it is curling it, so I'm gonna be showing you that as well. After showing you these few steps, I'm gonna be going through a few hairstyles, starting from loose all the way to an updo, and actually ways to hide this if you feel insecure about kind of showing that you're using a synthetic piece. Not that there's anything to be ashamed of, but still, if you're feeling self-conscious about it, there are ways to hide the connection point, so I'm gonna be showing you that as well. First, I'm using a blow dryer to straighten the hair and make sure the two sections of the hairpiece are separated and facing the correct directions. I'm doing so by holding the hairdryer on top of the hairpiece, letting the hair kind of straighten itself. Next, I'm combing it and making sure it's neatly separated. I hold the longer section down using alligator clips and straighten the hair again because there were a few shorter strands of hair hiding there. Using an electric razor is the best way, in my opinion, to cut these kinds of bangs, and that's how I used to cut them on myself when I had them. Here I was too lazy to use a mannequin head, and also I figured most of you watching won't have one, so I'm doing it in the air, which is not the most professional way to do this by any means, but it worked out fine for me. I'm just very carefully trimming a bit of the outer corners into a deeper shape. Note that when you place it on your head, the bangs will naturally round up a bit, so be careful not to overdo it. Do this very gradually while making sure it's as symmetrical as possible. You can see I didn't cut it too much because obviously it doesn't grow back, so I didn't want to go over, so it's just a gentle rounding of the corners. Next, I'm gonna use a curling iron. I'm using a 19mm curling iron, but you can use a 25mm, that will work as well. But because I like a pretty extreme pin-up look, I prefer it to be as curly as possible. So this is actually easier than you would imagine. I'm just curling the ends of these bangs like that's it. It kind of works out very nice without too much effort. The first time I used these bettie bangs, I actually curled it in sections and like to the same direction and everything, but seriously it just kind of works itself out, so no need to be too perfectionist about it as long as the ends are curled. Okay, so I'm giving it a second to cool down. Let's do this as well. I want to curl all of this so it will match my hair better because it is already styled. You can always continue the styling process when it's already like connected to your head, but I like to start like this so it's easier without burning my forehead. So let's just comb this area. You see, it already looks so much better than when it's just straight. Here you can see me preparing my hair to attach the hairpiece. I brushed my hair to the back and took this little section, twisted it and set it in place using bobby pins. I don't really know if that's the best way to do this, it was just my first instinct. I later saw some tutorials on YouTube that just part the hair in the middle and put bobby pins to hold it in a side part, so that might be a bit easier. Next, I clipped on the hairpiece. It has two clips that face two different directions, so you just need to insert them well and clip them in place. This is a matter of feeling and you need to make sure it feels secure. In terms of how it looks, just make sure it's in the center and placed in the correct height to flatter your face shape. You can always remove and reapply it until you're happy with the placement and until it also feels like it's secured in place. Next, I brush my hair basically until it makes sense. At first it looked kinda weird in terms of the length difference of the sides of the hairpiece compared to my hair length, but you can either keep brushing this until it makes sense, or in this first example I wanted to try and pair it with a beret, so that really helped it make more sense. By the way, if the bangs need a little curling once they're already on you, that's not really an issue. You can see here I just do it in small sections in the area I feel needs some shaping. Let it cool for a second and then brush it. Next, I'm just popping on a beret, a red one of course, to match my Deep Perfect red lipstick. And voila, this hairstyle looks way better now. Next, I'm reapplying the bangs because the beret kinda moved them. I'm brushing the longer part of the hairpiece to the back because I'm going to style my hair into a really quick and easy 60s inspired half updo. I'm grabbing the back of the hairpiece mixed with some of my own hair, creating a small beehive inspired shape. I secure it in place using bobby pins. Next, I'm grabbing another section from the side, shaping it so it looks related to the first part, but also trying to avoid making it look too organized or too sculpted. I do so repeatedly until I reach a half updo look. I'm pulling the hair forward a bit to help shape it and give it some volume. Lastly, to hide all the messy bobby pins, I just grab a cute bow clip and place it over them. Next, I'm gonna transform this half updo into an updo. I continue on from the last step, only without the bow clip. I lift all of the hair up and give it a little twist in the back so it's easier to secure using bobby pins. Make sure you use plenty of pins so the weight of the hair is actually supported before you continue to the styling part. Now let's deal with this mess I placed on top of my head. I brush it just a little, but I'm actually going for a pretty messy updo, kinda inspired by the 1960s as well. You can see me here just playing around with the hair and seeing what works out best. Once my hands made my hair do something nice, I grab lots of U-shaped pins and insert them in strategic places to hold it in place. This is a great hairstyle to do quickly when your hair is on its second or third day after you styled it in some sort of waves or curls. If your hair isn't working out really well and you just want to hide it but use the faux bangs and the hair scarf to make it look like you actually made an effort, although this will take you just a few short minutes, you can just cover it using a scarf or a sheer vintage nylon scarf like I'm using here. Fold it into a triangle, place the middle corner on the connecting point of the bangs, secure with a bobby pin, take the other two ends and tie them together. Make a nice bow. Spoiler alert, this is the first out of 3 bows I'm gonna be doing in this video. Not sure what kind of weird bow mood I was in that day, but that's what happened when I filmed this. I was actually about to stop filming, but I took all of the hair down and brushed it, and I got inspired to do 2 more versions. First, I'm doing a Wanda from Crybaby inspired hairstyle. When I first started wearing my hair in rockabilly hairstyles, she was definitely one of my main inspirations. I'm starting with a side part, leaving a little small section out in order to frame my face and also help make the hairpiece look a bit more realistic. And then I'm grabbing a section starting from the side part towards the back of my ear and twisting it upwards, locking it in by inserting the 2 bobby pins from 2 different directions. Same on the other side, but with a bigger section, so I'm paying special attention to the twist and the shape it creates. Securing this as well using bobby pins. Next, I'm brushing all of my hair to find the waves again, but also not too much because I want that Wanda hair volume. To hide the bobby pins, I'm using the nylon scarf again. This time I'm folding it over and over until it's more of a hair tie, placing it under the back of my hair and tying it up, making sure it's placed over the bobby pins to hide them and creating a small little bow again. Ultimately, all the brushing and taking the hair up and down really made it look fabulous at the end of the video, so I just brushed it continuously into a more sleek 1940s inspired shape. Also, the ends of the longer part of the hairpiece relaxed a bit and mixed in way better with my hair at this point. If I was actually going anywhere, I would use hairspray at this point to make sure it stays this way. You can tell I'm really happy with this hairstyle. Lastly, I'll just add the hair scarf again because who knows, but yeah, I'm adding it again. This time I'm placing the bow on top of the connecting part between the front and the back part of the hairpiece. So that was the last one. I didn't mention the state of my hair when I started this. I'm on my second day of a soft rollers set. So you can see on my channel in a video here how I set my hair in soft rollers. You can use that technique to start off, and that way, as you can see, I'm not gonna lie, I had a great hair day today. But if you start with a roller set, pretty much everything you do will turn out really good. So I really recommend mastering that technique to really be able to do all the vintage inspired hairstyles you want to. This was actually the second day, so it's not even a fresh set, and still my hair like worked so well in all the hairstyles you saw. Anyway, I hope I gave you some inspiration to try this out, to try these bettie bangs, and to try different hairstyles in your free time and play with hair. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, whatever you can do to support my channel and support me making these kinds of videos. I would really appreciate it. Thank you and have a great day.